coming
Excellent.
down. So maybe
So
you'll get a
happened
group.
So please state your name.
Christian Andrade. I live in Pawtucket. I was at the Wyatt event back in September, and I gave my testimony. I participated in the grand jury investigation, and we just heard the results directly from the Attorney General to tell us that there will be no charges pressed against the captain of the Wyatt, Captain Whitworth, and essentially that's the determination that the grand jury came up with, and he doesn't really have any of the details of how it all went down, but he relied on the people that he put on the case to do the investigation and carry out the case, and so essentially those are the results that many of us are not surprised by it. Certainly it just shows that again, law enforcement is not held to the same standards that we are, regular citizens that are using our rights to protest peacefully in many ways, and here's just another example that the system is just used not to preserve those rights and to let some people that can be violent and have these intentions to harm people to just get away with it.
And you got hit directly in the eye with pepper spray that night, right?
I was hit directly. My understanding now actually is that what was used was a CO spray, which is very different from regular pepper spray, and therefore that's why I ended up almost 3 weeks not being able to see through one eye. So yeah, I was essentially received the results of that violence, unnecessary, and there's way too many questions as to what arrangements were made between the Central Falls Police and the correctional officers and the captain. Why was not the police presence there to keep the peace? There were law enforcement at that time was not looking to arrest essentially anyone, and then the Wyatt seemed to be officers take matters into their own hands. So there's way too many questions here. This will not stop, I think, the belief that many of us have that law enforcement is not held to the same standards. There will be still protests for immigration rights and for justice, and this will not deter us.
Do you think this might embolden these correctional officers now to be more violent with protesters
certainly,
outside
it's clear in a message. It's sending a message, to both protesters that violence by law enforcement will sort of be allowed, and then we'll send a message to people in law enforcement to be violent, and it's okay to do it because nothing will happen. And never mind the main reason why we were there, which is to vouch for the rights of immigrants that are being detained at these facilities, and that no one is holding those law enforcement people accountable. We have no idea what's going on in there, and we can tell that a minor inconvenience for someone not to be able to park could cause this type of violence. We don't know what that's doing to the people inside of the detention cells.
And how are you feeling emotionally right now?
Well, as I said, I'm not exactly surprised, by the results of this. I was at the grand jury, and the question of the grand jury wasn't really conducive to trying to find the truth. I think it was some other agendas potentially. But we need to keep on certainly not able to trust in law enforcement and the system, and it will come down to citizens, continuing to put the pressure and elevate their voices for the people that are being oppressed by this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.